Hello everybody and welcome to a new video here on MedSolutTV. The 3D printer is nothing that special anymore. Everybody with the financial possibilities is able to own and use one. But there is another thing the technique of 3D printing could be useful for, and this is bioprinting. The research into bioprinting has grown rapidly in the recent years. The claim is to recreate the complex functions of human tissue onto entire organs. So then, what is already possible using the bioprinter? Therefore, we need to understand the bioprinter and its function in general. According to the complexity and the wideness this topic offers, I decided to ask an expert, and so I was speaking to Außerlechner from the Medical University in Innsbruck. And so tell us, Michael, how does it work?
It describes more or less a technology that is derived from 3D printing. And instead of using plastic, you are using biomolecules and living cells. And therefore you try to assemble them in a 3D tissue-like, or into a 3D tissue equivalent, or a structure that is bio-inspired more or less. You do not build something of plastic, but you build something of living cells. And of course there are significant differences defined by the biological origin of your material. So that means you have to work at physiological conditions, so somewhere in the range between 10 and 50 and 40 degrees centigrade, and you have to be aware that you're working with living cells. That means shear stress and something like that is complicated. And the important thing in bioprinting in general is that it's some kind of 4D printing process, because the first step is to assemble and to build these structures, these living structures, and then there is a post-processing where you try to maturate your 3D construct into a tissue that resembles living human tissue, more or less.
As you were able to guess, this is just a really small part of the interview I had with Michael, and there is way more. If you're interested in this complex topic, check out our blog at medsolut.com to read the whole article and interview over there. But wait, before doing so, make sure to finish this video. And so that we are now able to understand the function in general, let's have a look on what already is possible and done using the bioprinting. Until now, the printing of bone and cartilage tissue is possible. Using bone material, the regeneration of their tissue may be possible in the future. In Russia, COVID-19 vaccine has been tested on printed cell lines to promote and speed up the research in this point. In Tel Aviv, it has been possible to print the first model of an heart. Okay, to be honest, this model only had around about 2.5 centimeters, or recently nearly 1 inch. As well, it hasn't been functional. But it had all the components and the shape of a real human heart. In their opinion, we'll need up to 15 years to come to the point where we are able to print personalized human organic tissue. And speaking to Michael earlier in this video, let's have a look on what he and the Medical University of Innsbruck in general does using bioprinting.
We mainly focus in the original idea is to build up tumor tissue, because our main research focus is childhood malignancies. But we are also working on different topics such as gynecologic tumors or skin and 3D bioprinted skin. That's the idea and the project, that we can study how wound healing, for example, happens.
And also it is possible to print meat using vegan resources. The startup Redefined Meat is planning to deliver in the first half of 2021 to restaurants in Germany and further in supermarkets as well. So as you can see, there are a lot of divisions working on the progress of bioprinting. But how will this inflict our future life, really? Answering this question, we're going to hear Michael's opinion as well. But let's start chronological. We already spoke about Russian scientists using bioprinting for testing their COVID vaccine. Wow, but which options are given considering that?
You always have to keep in mind that rodents and primates, or human beings, have separated 100 million years ago. So there is a lot of evolutionary gap in between. And this means that many experiments that work in the animal cannot be replicated in the human. And on the other side, you maybe lose many promising drugs in the animals because they do not act like expected, and therefore you discard them, although they might have been good drugs for the human beings. And of course there is also an EU directive to reduce animal experiments in biomedical sciences and biomedical research to increase animal welfare.
And now I've got something for you just to imagine. It will take some time, but when research is coming to the point that it's possible to engraft personalized donor organs, the danger of complications during the operation will minimize, and as well the demand of donor organs decrease. And as well, there would be a chance to reduce industrial massive livestock farming using printed meat in restaurants or supermarkets. There are way more options coming up with the progress in bioprinting. But for today, we want to summarize what we were already speaking about. During my investigation, during the interview with Michael, I've been surprised how far we already are in the research at this point. Of course, it will need some more time to fulfill all the chances we were talking about earlier. And now to answer the question we had at the beginning. It is not possible to print and engraft functional complex organs. But just to imagine that we could be able in up to a decade or two to do so is insane. The only thing I'm kind of concerned about is if printed meat will really be an option for customers all over the world, or if they will be avoiding to try it. Would you do so? And if not, why? Or have you already tasted it? Let me know in the comments and let us discuss together about this topic. Otherwise, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to support us. You'll find more videos related to research topics you may have an interest in on MedSolut TV. If you'd like to, tell us what should we talk about next time. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.